Hi everybody, I'm Stacy with Stacy's Organizing and Decorating for Life. I'm here to help you organize your thoughts and decorate your perspectives. Today's topic, we're going to talk about understanding control and how does that work with self-sabotaging. We don't expect that that's how it's going to work. Control is usually directly meant for somebody else. That's what we think, but we're going to learn to understand that. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel and help me out here, y'all. So you can continue to get more informative videos, and even, you could submit for videos that you want to see or topics that you would like to see talked about on here, okay? So please hit the like and subscribe button below if you haven't already. Also, I want you to read the disclaimer in the description below so that you know who and what I am, and what I'm not. What I do though is I can help you reach your goals or to heal your soul. So if you need help in any of that area, or anybody you know does, please contact me through the email that I list in this video. But please continue to watch. So let's get into the topic today about understanding control. I've talked to a few people today. I had a client friend that I talked to the other day about control, and then even sitting on the beach this week talking about control, a gentleman came up to me. So let's talk about control. First off, it was an epiphany. I love when I'm working with others because, I usually pray. When I actually did the physical organizing and decorating, I would pray before I went into somebody's home to be able to help them be able to function better. Well, now that I do organizing and decorating of the mind and the soul, it's where I still can help them organize and function better, in their lives. So, working with the client this week, I was able to channel. What I brought the prayer up is that sometimes I channel, and when I pray, it could be, source, God, higher power, divine intelligence, cosmic consciousness. I want all of that working with me when I'm working with another human being. So I try to be conscious and aware of what their needs are. And so things come to me, and it's really cool because this particular client writes everything down that I say. So sometimes when I can't remember, because sometimes when Spirit is speaking through me or whatever it is, and I'm channeling whatever, I can't remember what I said. People will say, "What did you just say?" And I'll be like, "I don't know," And so this particular one writes these things down. So when I write things down, when they write things down, if you don't write things down, because I can't remember things sometimes if I don't write them down. But so what it is when we're trying to control at the basic level, what we're doing is this: sometimes we're trying to control for these things that we may call defects, in recovery. These are our actual fears. So sometimes when we're trying not to have a fear, we're already trying to control not having that fear, which really radiates an energy to that fear, which usually causes the self-sabotaging that I'm talking about. Because when we're creating, it's with the motivation and intention. And so we want to make clear that we're creating now the right motivation and intention and creating what we do want. But when the energy is more geared to the fear of what we don't want, we're creating from there. So that's what I was saying, is this: I don't remember the exact words. She has the notes and everything, but I told her specifically that in order for us not to feel a certain way, we already set that up. And that's controlling how we're setting it up. Some of us have already perceived a certain way that things are going to be. So we've got this storyline made up. So we show up with that kind of energy. Are y'all following me so far? So when we show up with that kind of energy, we're already prepared for something that we don't want. And that leads to self-sabotage, because we've already generated that energy and created that in our mind. Things that we create in our mind, we tend to act out in public. So in another scenario, I was talking to somebody on the beach, and I was talking about, they asked me about my coaching practice and what do I do. And I told them I help people with addiction, codependency, and grief. And so in those things, he didn't really understand the drug addiction or alcohol addiction, which is really the same, y'all. But he was relating that to food. And I work with people with food. I really work with people with their relationships with their selves, selves, and soul. So when we look at these relationships in that order, it's about being able to stop what we're doing, and to be conscious and aware. So that's why I said that sometimes when I'm trying to reach these levels to be able to work with people, it's like trying to reach the cosmic consciousness. And I would suggest that for you when things are bothering us, because another part of control is that somebody said to me, because I like everybody else, sometimes there's something on Facebook that'll get me a little twisted. And I mentioned that to a friend, and she suggested, well, just unfriend that person or just do this. And see, what I explained is when I get twisted about something, because this person didn't do anything wrong. This person was just being themselves. So this is another aspect of control, okay? Sometimes we cut ourselves off. This channel is meant to have us more united than rather divided. So that's why I do these videos. And so when we just cut people off because they're being who they are, that's something we don't want done to us, right? It hurts people's feelings when we unfriend them. And if they didn't do something to us, if they didn't verbally attack us, if they didn't do something intentionally to hurt us, and even sometimes when they do, if it's not going to cause harm, then we can just overlook it. We can keep scrolling when we see things we don't like that don't agree with our political ideas or our social ideas or any ideas like that. We can just keep scrolling. We can't control the way that other people think and they feel. So when I was talking about control in the beginning, is first off, there's the control that we already perceive that we have to do, that we've already started within ourselves, that isn't good for us. So that part of us needs to be healed within ourselves. The second part of control was when we're trying to control how we use something outside of ourselves, perhaps food, drugs, whatever, And then the third thing I'm talking about now is how we can try to control other people, and knowing that when we unfriend people that it hurts people's feelings and we're trying to send them a message. But do we need to send people a message? This is divided, because really, do I not want to be friends with that people just because they said something or did something that I didn't really like? Because that's on me. When somebie says or does something that I don't like, they aren't on Facebook or any other social media to make me happy. They're expressing themselves, and so it's not my business. And so this is one thing that we have to realize in codependency or other things, is that it's what's my business and somebody else's business, and where do I start and where does somebody else end, and these things. So what other people do has nothing to do with me. And I can't control that because they're being who they are. And if it's not a deal breaker, then I don't need to get upset with people and just cut them off. But see, that's another form that we do with control, and I've done that before, because we were also talking about insecurities. And what I mentioned about insecurities is that we all have insecurities of some sort. Most of us do. And so sometimes we have a false esteem, and sometimes we have a low self-esteem dealing with insecurities, but there's an umbrella of insecurities. So jealousy, fear of abandonment, attachment styles, all of these fall under the umbrella. You know how the umbrella has all these different spokes like a bike wheel? Well, all of those things are like different spokes of an umbrella, and so if we can not just shut people out of our lives. And I think that the next video is going to be about when to cut people off and when not to cut people off, because I'm not suggesting that there's not some people that you can't have relationships with. I'm just saying that when we get inside our own self and soul, what is it that's bothering me? What is it that I think that I have to control? And why do I think I have to control something? I think I mentioned somebody gave me a question mark here recently. And I put that question mark on my altar. And that question mark's on my altar because that question mark is like my higher power. I don't question what my higher power can do for me. I question how my higher power is going to show up for me. And I anticipate those magic, mystery, and miracles because I don't know how things are going to show up. There's no way that I can control it. No way that I can control it. No way that you can control it. There's certain things that we can do. There's boundaries, but we don't want to set up walls. When we just cut people off, we're building walls. We're burning bridges and things like this. And these videos aren't intended to control people by burning bridges and building walls. It's about uniting us rather than dividing us. So I hope that this video has been helpful and that you've been able to be able to see something within yourself that can better connect you to other people, to let you look within. If something is, if you're having a problem with, say, other people and not feeling, you don't want to feel a certain way, if you don't want to feel abandoned, if you don't want to feel jealous, all under the insecurity, inferiority, are you reacting and building up a story before that? And the behaviors that you have to do, are you trying to prepare? Because this constricts all your systems, your glands here, which is what I work with in Reiki. Is you've got these glands, chains that go down your back, and everything else. Our bodies are so intricate and they work with us, but when we get upset or we're trying to control stuff, we're not controlling anything, because we're not controlling our digestive system because our food's not digesting well. That's where we have our gut brain and our gut problems. And then we have our respiratory system. We're not breathing as well. Oftentimes when I've had people panicking, it's like, breathe, darling. And then all of that feeds into our cardiovascular system too. We could be eating the wrong things or what have you. So like the person on the beach talking to me about when they eat something unhealthy and they just continue eating something unhealthy, or when we're going to cut people off. So I hope that this video has helped you to be able to look within before you cut people off, before you eat something unhealthy, and before you try to prepare for something that hasn't happened yet, trying to control that. Okay? So if you have an idea for a topic, or if you need help in any way with coaching or what have you, I do the Reiki. I do it over online Reiki, and I also do in-person Reiki. You can reach out to me at stacyreinick@gmail.com. Also, if you want to maybe contribute or support this channel, any way that you support this channel is much appreciated. If you just subscribe, if you just like and share these videos, and get other people to build this algorithm up of healing. And remember, it's about reaching your goals or healing your soul. So I appreciate you very much, and I thank you for watching, and I look forward to connecting with you again next week. I wish you much love and peace until then. Thank you so much.